Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 16th through the 22nd. And during that time, we first have the waxing crescent moon, and that's a time of heightened senses, a good time for us to execute those things that we've already started during the new moon. Or if you haven't quite started them, a good time to get those things going. Just a good time for us to live up to our expectations and our intentions. We then have our first interrupter of the cycle, which is the first quarter moon that comes in on the 20th. And that can be a time of feeling impulsive and patient, where your mind's a little bit active, just hard to buckle down and get things done. So either, take that time to learn how to be in control and dominate those impulses, or just take it a little bit easier that day and know that those energies might be around. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. I'm getting over a summer cold, so I'm so sorry if my voice is a little scratchy today, but I am getting there. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Pisces. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is that prosperity lies ahead. All right. That's always a fun card to come up. Let's see what you guys have going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, usually this would be the time when I would talk about my fun weekly reminder just for spiritual growth or things that kind of help us on our path. But this week, I do need your help on something. I'm thinking about doing the occasional live stream where I would just do free 1 or 2 card tarot readings, just as you guys ask me some questions. So I'm thinking about doing that maybe in the next couple of months. And all I need from you is to know what day of the week or time of day might be best, or both, for you. Are you more about late night live streams for that sort of thing, early morning, afternoon, that just wherever? And I'll take everyone's answers into account when I'm trying to schedule those. So if you could do me the favor of dropping that information in the comments, I would really appreciate it. So thank you so much in advance. All right, let's get into this reading. We've got Pisces, August 16th through the 22nd. Prosperity lies ahead. And your overall present energy right now is the King of Cups. So look at you being very just emotionally stable. The king is not only the someone who's very knowledgeable and understanding about their own emotions and their reactions to things, but also about the people around them. So it's like you are able to see the big picture of things. You can look around and see, what's going on emotionally, and that's a good place to be. It just helps you to understand the world a little bit more. Your current situation is the Queen of Swords. So you're also not holding back when things need to be said. You're speaking right up. The Queen of Swords is where you've got these emotions under control. The Queen of Swords is very much about logic and saying those things that are on her mind without pause, but just because they seem to be the logical thing to say. So that sounds very Pisces to me, both of those together. At the root of your situation is the Lover's card. So you may be having some sort of um, something going on within a relationship here where you do need to say the logical thing, but you're also understanding feelings and emotions. So, maybe there's some decision point or something, or if it's prosperity lies ahead, you might be making decisions about that, about what, where that prosperity is for you as a couple, making decisions like that. But you're going to definitely take the emotional part into account, but also be very logical about it, which again is very Pisces to me. That doesn't surprise me at all. In your recent past here has been the Devil card. So maybe there's been, a little bit of the devil coming in, maybe some things where you're feeling, a little bit insecure. Maybe you've been procrastinating some things, maybe some self-doubt things that are coming in. But remember, this is in your past, and it's also, these aren't real things. These are things that kind of get in your mind where the devil's on your shoulder saying negative things in your ear, and they're not true. They're just kind of making you second guess yourself. So whatever that is, let's try to keep that in the past and try to, conquer over those kind of things so that we're looking at reality instead of things that are false, that are kind of being just kind of put in your head. And that can be by other people, other things that are going on as well. What is on your mind this week? is the Four of Cups, which is feeling just a little bit disappointed about what the universe is offering you. And I always say when this card comes up is sometimes if we have a big picture in mind and there's kind of the end of the rainbow thing that we're trying to work towards, that sometimes saying yes to something that doesn't seem like it's that end of the rainbow might be a step towards it. We're saying yes to, I'm going to say maybe it's like something comes up at work and they need you to work some extra hours, and you're like, "Ugh, I really don't want to." But in working those extra hours, you meet a person that really gives you some sort of inside information about the company. It's somewhere where it's important to you to do that thing, just to encounter that person. So make sure that you're not saying no to everything coming in and thinking that it's not part of your big picture. Some things you just say yes to and go, okay, let's see what happens if I do this. When those things that seem disappointing, it could be a reason that the universe is offering that to you, right? What is just ahead of you this week is the Nine of Wands. So you're definitely taking some time to look back, probably in decision making mode, that you are looking back on things that have happened in the past, how you've handled things, and will you handle them the same way? Did you learn a lesson? Did you learn to handle them differently? Did you not speak up then and you're going to speak up now? That sort of thing. So this is our wounded warrior kind of looking back on where we've been and evaluating those things for decisions that we're making now. Sometimes the past can be helpful there. I'm so sorry. So I get a cough out. Let me grab a drink. Again, almost over the summer cold. All right, in your advice position here is just kind of wait for the harvest. There's maybe not a lot going on right now, but maybe it's time. You've planted some seeds somewhere. Maybe you need to say yes to some things that don't feel like you should be saying yes to them. Like they don't feel like they're a part of your end picture or big picture, but maybe they are, and you're just not realizing it. But the advice is just to kind of maintain status quo this week. I guess speak your mind. Take those look back, but we're not making any really big moves or anything this week. What is beyond your control is the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is about just action and moving forward and being kind of open-minded when it comes to your emotions and actions about your emotions. So a lot of emotional cups coming in here with this reading, with three of them so far. So, but you're knowledgeable about it, and I feel like you know what the appropriate next step is. Again, I'm not surprised as a Pisces that you will be speaking up and also taking the appropriate kind of emotional action where it is needed. All right, what is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Hermit card. So it's either, and again, with this card, it is kind of about laying low. So maybe that is your secret desire a little bit this week, is to kind of hermit, lay low. Um, you know, your overall is that prosperity lies ahead. I feel like everything's in motion for you to do whatever it is that needs to be done. You're speaking up, you're kind of dealing with these false things that have been coming in and into your head, and maybe it is just kind of time to lay low, to maybe feel these emotions, feel out maybe, what is your next step ahead, which is what the Hermit's trying to do. Or you're trying to avoid this at all cost. You might just be trying to power through and not take that time to really go in and think deeply. The Hermit's about inner searching and inner wisdom. And to do that, you kind of do have to block the whole world out. You just need to hear your own inner voice. And sometimes people do avoid doing that altogether. So there's no right or wrong there. Just ask yourself the question, do I need to be hermiting and really understanding things and being quiet, being in my own head a little bit, or am I trying to avoid that? There's no right or wrong. Just remember to answer the question and then ask yourself why. All right. In your outcome position here is the Queen of Wands. So I feel like in the end, look at all the royalty. We have the Queen of Swords, who definitely says what's on her mind. The Queen of Wands, who acts out of passion, who does the thing um, in the passionate way. And I think the big question for you this week is this Hermit card. Prosperity lies ahead, and in what way is this? Prosperity doesn't always have to be monetary. Is it prosperity in your personal relationship, like a romantic relationship? Is it prosperity in your family life and the things that you're passionate about? So think about, what is prosperity to you? What is a really good life and a good passionate life to you? All right, what is hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck is, Five of Wands. That's a good place for that card to be. This is just debate, passionate debate. It can sometimes lead into argument. So really no conflict or anything like that this week. Almost like maybe that was something that you are managing and processing right now. So this hermit card, that it really is your big question for the week, is are you going in and thinking deep about what your next steps are and the reasons why, or are you just trying to avoid it? And you might be trying to avoid it with the devil. This is with, this can be with substances and things where you don't want to hear that inner voice. So ask yourself that question this week. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Pisces for this reading. Be creative. Prosperity lies ahead. Be creative. Do you need to hermit? Do you need to not hermit? Whatever. So many questions that are really not even being answered by this tarot card reading. So my apologies that it's very open-ended for you, Pisces, this week. But sometimes that's just the way readings go. There's just, it could be there's a lot on the table. And even though I do these tarot card readings for a week, life doesn't happen in a week. And you might have many, many different things and different fires, that things that are going on. And it just looks like it's kind of a status quo week, but maybe go within a little bit and think about some things. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Pisces this week. And the card that you get is the card called Growth. Evolution starts when you leave your comfort zone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That to me speaks of this card here. When the universe is offering you something and you're like, nah, that's not really what I want. That's not really the direction I'm trying to go in. And when it seems unrelated to something that is a final goal for you, sometimes saying yes and stepping out of your comfort zone and doing that thing will lead you to getting closer to your bigger goals. So keep that in mind when things are being offered you. Don't just think just don't be so about things when they're coming at you. Really, sometimes just do the thing that might feel a little bit uncomfortable because it might lead you to a place that is a little surprising. So, Pisces, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if anything here resonated, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you as well. And if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is so nice of you. It helps my channel, and I do appreciate that so much. So, Pisces, thank you once again. I will see you next week. Bye bye.